Oh, welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1970 Winter Baseball Classic Tournament. We have a semifinals matchup between Tucson and New Orleans. Winner goes to the finals. Let's see what's happened. It opened in New Orleans. Game 1. New Orleans, Jim McLaughlin versus Tucson's Larry Durker. Both teams pitch with guys with 3 days rest, so we'll get to see the repeat matchups throughout the series. Game 1 belongs to New Orleans at home. A 2-run homer by Bob Tillman. A solo shot by Yvonne Morrell. Only 1 run off of the Jim McLaughlin. Give up 4 hits. New Orleans is up 1-0 in the series. Game 2. And Game 2... more of the same. Don Sutton, believe it or not, the number 4 starter on this team, because he had a 4.08 ERA in 1970, against George Stone. George got knocked around a little bit. We talked about the trio of Durker, Stone, and Reed, how brilliant they were earlier in this tournament, but now they're starting to get nicked around a little bit. A 6-1 final. Ken Berry, a nice little 3-run triple there. That'll always do you good. And New Orleans, the number 1 seed, grabs a 2-0 lead, and we're thinking that we're going to see an easy series. Well, let's see what happens when we go to Arizona. In Tucson, Game 3, that New Orleans squad, again, jumps out to a 5-2 lead. And Mickey Lolich versus Ron Reed. Get a homer from Willie Davis, a 2-run triple by Willie Davis as well. But here comes Tucson. Run in the 4th, 2 runs in the 6th, and a homer by Darrell Evans in the 8th. They come back and get a series win, 6-5. So there's New Orleans with a 3rd straight game with a lead, blowing a 5-2 lead. Chance to go up 3-0. Let's see what happens in Game 4. Well, New Orleans comes storming out the blocks again with 4 runs in the 1st. They take a 6-2 lead in this game, and they blow it as well. They blow it in the 7th and 8th innings. Their bullpen, Gary Ross, Rudy May, Gary Wassilowski, you can't get anybody out. Walking in runs, it's ugly. And Tucson manages to even up the series with a 7-6 win. So just when you think New Orleans is going to do a sweep, we're all tied up. Game number 5 in Tucson. Okay, here is Game 5. 5-1 lead this time. They blew it. 4 runs in the 4th. A run in the 5th, 6th, 5 in the 8th. Tucson, the comeback kids. New Orleans has had at least a 3-run lead in 5 straight games, and has won 2 of those. Home team has won every game. Hate to see that. Actually, I hate to see this series. It's been very lackluster. Unless, comebacks that are fueled by mistakes and so forth and so on. Somehow Tucson is up 3-2 in this mess. In a Game 6, back in New Orleans, we will see George Stone versus Don Sutton. Let's get started from New Orleans. Norm Miller leads off. 6-6 off of Sutton. 1-1-4 is a triple. Loser of the series will show you their 20 cards at the end of the video. Steve Hovley, 38, base hit RBI. Now it's Tucson with the early lead. Jim Wynn, 6'10", short X. This is Hallineer's a good one, a 2-28 at short. That's a double play ball. And Ron Fairley, 110, another base hit for Ron. Boy, Jim Wynn and Ron Fairley really carried this Tucson squad. Darrell Evans, 1-7, double 1-7 is a base hit. Runs in the corners, 2 outs. O'Brien, double 1 off Sutton, single. And could it be that the shoe flips in New Orleans makes the comeback? Because they're going to have to. Runs in the corners, 2 outs for Ted Simmons. Another hit, double 1 off of Sutton is a base hit. Runners in the corners, 3-0. Tommy Dean flies left. So we have 6 hits and 3 runs in the 1st inning for Tucson in a closeout game. Willie Davis leads off for New Orleans. 1-9, grounds a short. Julian Javier, 57's a K. Ken Berry, 57 is okay. Go to the second. Popovich, 2-2. And that is a Paul Popovich homer on the roll of 2-2. Interesting card. 4 homers and 186 at-bats, which is actually a decent amount of power. And sure, he's got power both ways, and homers on the 2-2 card both ways. So, nice little card. It's up for Arizona Diamondbacks in the Summer League. Probably gets picked up. 4-zip, Tucson. The stunned Sugar Magnolia. I don't know what is going on. Norm Miller, 48, base hit. Sutton is in danger of breaking in the second inning. Steve Hovley, 2-7, center. There's an out after 8 hits. Jim Wynn, 66, and that is homer 1-7. Double off of Sutton. It's going to be a double to center field. Miller's a 14 runner. Barry is your arm. You got to run him, and he scores. Runner second with 1 out. Ron Fairley, K's. And 2 outs for Darrell Evans, 69. Again, off of Sutton, double one, single not that. Well, this Don Sutton card is definitely not getting the Summer League. It is just getting lit up again. To a tune of 6-0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's broken in the second inning. 10 hits in 3 innings will break you. I leave broken starters into 4 innings to not tax the bullpen. So this could get rather interesting. Sid O'Brien, 6'10", short X. This is Hallinier, a 2E28, makes the play. Well, speaking of comebacks, Tucson made 3 consecutive ones, and now New Orleans is being asked to make a bigger one, coming back from 6 runs down. Talk about shoe on the other foot there. Carlos May, 2/8's a single. Yvonne Morel, 57's a K. Ron Brand, 37, 115 single. Runners in the corners for Rich Reese, 47's a K, and with 2 outs, Hallinier. Skies at left field. Simmons, 47, single 1-14, base hit. Tommy Dean, 312, center. Popovich, 2-8, right. And with 2 outs, Norm Miller, 37, grounds to second base. Bottom of the third, Al Gallagher, 49, right. Willie Davis, 49, lines to short. Javier, 210, short. We go to the 4th inning. Steve Hovley, 111, pops to first. Jim Wynn, 111, flies to right. And with 2 outs, Ron Fairley, 1-5 off the Fairley card. Boy, he could be your series MVP. Solo shot for Ron Fairley. It is 7-0 Tucson. Darrell Evans, 46 is a walk. Sid O'Brien, 1-7 is a K. And Don Sutton can take a shower. Thanks, Don. You got through 4. 7 runs off the Hall of Famer. My goodness. The likes of, well, 2 guys. Well, there's some names you recognize, but they're not really. Simmons is a rookie. Darrell Evans is a rookie. They're not very good. Only Jim Wynn and Ron Fairley will probably get into the Summer League out of this lineup. But it was enough to bury Don Sutton. So here we go in the bottom of the 4th. Ken Berry, 46, flies left. Carlos May, 56, bounced to second base. Popovich, 2-8. And with 2 outs, Yvonne Morel, 63, off of Stone, short X. This is Tommy Dean, a 3E21, makes the play. We need a pitcher. Oh, let's see here. Let's go with Rudy May in the 5th inning. I think his contract's up for the Ohio players. Rudy May's 70 card, however, is not very good. ERA of 4. He does better in the other years. Ted Simmons leading off. 2-8, grounds to short. Tommy Dean, 2-9, he's trying to get in the league as a shortstop. He strikes out. And Popovich, 1-3, pops the 3rd. Bottom of the 5th for George Stone. Here is Ron Brand, 2-3. Bounce to second. Rich Reese, 64, double. Hallinier, 2-8, is a base hit. To center field. Reese, 12, He will hold there. Runners on the corners for Gallagher. 2-7 lines a second, and with 2 outs, they really need this one. Willie Davis, 1-8, grounds to second base. Stays 7-zip. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, the 6th inning here. Norm Miller and Tucson, 46, ball 4. They're already thinking bring in defense. Bill Russell, great defensive right fielder in this era before he goes to play short, will come in as a pinch runner. Hovley's going to hit and run. He pops out. Jim Wynn, 58, flies to left. And with 2 outs, Ron Fairley, 1-7. Again, he comes through. Double on a 4 is a single dot. That'll score the pinch runner Russell. It is 8-zip. Darrell Evans, 2-6, single dot. Runners on the corner, Sid O'Brien. Pitcher XE21. That is going to, what an ill, who makes the play. All right. It is 8-0. Tucson in a stunning development here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Julian Javier leading off. 1-7. Pops the second. Ken Berry, 48, center. Carlos May, 53. Rolls to the pitcher, George Stone. His contract is up, and he is getting his he's being checked out here to see if he can get in the summer league, and pitching pretty good today. He didn't pitch good in the other game in this series, but today he's pitching well. He's got an 8-0 lead. We will go into the 7th inning here. Rudy May leaves. Gary Ross will come on in the 7th inning. I think he was put on waivers. Ted Simmons. 1-6 first. Tommy Dean, 2-6 short. And Popovich, 37 single. And Bill Russell, 5-10 catcher's card. This is Ron Brands, a 46 team, and makes the play. Stretch time here in New Orleans. Down 8-0, a stunned crowd, but they are enjoying the Meters Cabbage Alley LP of 1972. Delightful record. Let's put Soul Island on. This is a good one. Yeah, this one's a really good one. All right, bottom of the 7th. Can New Orleans get something going? Let's find out. Yvonne Morel. 1-6 K's. Ron Brand, 49, right. Rich Reese, 6-12. Center. Nothing. We go to the 8th. Steve Hovley, 63, second X. Javier is a 2 at second base, makes the play. Jim Wynn, 1-6, is a walk. Ron Fairley, 1-8, another Ron Fairley hit. What a series this dude's having. 1, 2, 3. And his card is up for the Expos. My goodness, we're going to take this card. That's great. 2 on, 1 out for Darrell Evans. 58 is a walk. Bases loaded for Sid O'Brien. I don't think it really matters anymore. That's a walk. I think New Orleans just wants to do something else. Go down to Mardi Gras or something. Ted Simmons, 38 is a single. Base is still loaded in a 10-zip closeout game. 35. Oh, Tommy Dean with a double play ball. There you go. 10-zip. Gosh. Bottom of the 8th inning. George Stone sailing along. Hallinier. Pitcher. Gallagher, 59. Tucson was down 0-2 in this series and down by 3 runs in games 3, 4, and 5, and are about to close it out with a 10-0 win in game 6. That is a shocking turnaround. Willie Davis, pitcher. Okay, turn down a little bit. All right, let's get to the 9th inning here. Gary Ross, we've seen enough of him. I'll go with Joe Gibbon in the 9th. Gibbon, a lefty specialist. We'll get into the league, maybe not with this card, as you'll soon see it during the elimination portion of this video. Popovich leads off, 210. This guy's left. Bill Russell, 66 is a single. Tucson just cannot get out with these 240 hitters and whatnot. Hovely, 1-7 is a pop to short. And the Toy Cannon, 38. Oh, single 1-8. Lines out on a 9. All right, here we go. 10-0 game. And George Stone being pulled because he was already in the clubhouse, dipping into the champagne, forgot where his glove was. So they're going to bring Hoyt Wilhelm in to get the final 3 outs. Not a non-safe situation, as you can imagine. Julian Javier, 210, third. Ken Berry, 2-9, walk. Carlos May, 1-7K. Yvonne Morel, 58K. And there it is, folks. Tucson is your finalist in the Winter Baseball Classic. They will play the winner of Hollywood, Vancouver. Could have we will have a Western U.S. Finals or Western Canada U.S. Finals, but we'll be on the west side with the final 3 teams all at or west of Tucson. Let's do your box here. Victorious box. Joe Gibbon gave up a hit in the 9th. Rudy May. Let's do Gary Ross. Gary Ross, he was awful. He gave up 2 hits. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, and 3 walks. Pretty bad. Rudy May, not his best stuff either. 2 hits, a run, walk, and a K. And of course, Don Sutton was horrible. 13 hits and 7 runs that were all earned. A walk and 2 strikeouts. Wilhelm, a walk and 2 Ks in the 9th. George Stone gets a win. 4 hits, shutout with an assist. 5 strikeouts, no walks. Wow. 1009, 0109, 1018, 04. I just can't imagine Tucson getting 18 hits in a game with his offense. But 1009, 109, 1018, 04. 5317. That is game 6. We'll look at the stats. My goodness. Unbelievable. Tucson will be 14-7 going to the finals. Pretty good. And New Orleans has to settle for, what, 12-9? Yeah. New Orleans 12-9, hit 259 with a 4.55 ERA. But Tucson goes to the finals with a 265 batting average, a 3.50 ERA. Larry Durker's 5-2. George Stone's only 3-3, though he just threw a shutout. Yeah. Mike Keck gets just 2 wins. He's the 4th starter. Ron Reed's got 3 wins. So Ron Fairley is got 24 RBI in 21 games. So Ron Fairley is doing it. The Toy Cannon has 4 homer, 12 RBI, and 5 stolen bases in 21 games. So the tournament to this point has played 110 games. League's hitting 259 with a 3.93 ERA. But when we look at the tournament schedule, we can plug this in right here. That New Orleans finishes a disappointing 12-9. Tucson finishes 14-7. And it will be Tucson going to the finals with their gaudy 14-7 record to face either of these teams up here, Vancouver and Hollywood. We will have a battle of 14-win teams in the finals. Last year's champion won 17 games. This year's champion will win 18 games mathematically. So, Tucson did not win it last year. This is just reading this bit of information. Missoula won it last year. So, anyway, that's it tonight. We'll show you the Eliminating New Orleans video. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you next time. All right, baseball fans, we're going to look at the New Orleans squad that just fell apart in front of our eyes. They're up 2-0 as a number 1 seed in the semis. dropped 4 straight, blew the leads in 3, and then got blown out in the last one. You just saw. Not a pretty finish. We're going to look at players starting with the carry-ons through to the rookies. And we begin with Mickey Lolich is carrying on with Detroit with a much better card than this one, because this card will lose you 19 games. This is the Don Sutton card that just got lit up in the game you saw, and the Dodgers are going to say, ooh, ouch. We can't have Sutton pitching bad. Sutton is almost one of those Mount Rushmore guys in the carryover league. He always pitches over 200 innings through late 60s, 70s, and early 80s, and you can't have him with a bad strat card. This might be the only year he's not any good. With a 4.08 ERA. 38 home runs, too. So no. He's not even up, so it's not a big deal. As is Willie Davis. He's not up either. He's got his 71 card in the league. So those two Dodgers are going to be fine. Ken Berry has a future card in the league where his bat's even better than this. Al Gallagher has that same defense with a future card for the Portland expansion team. Yvonne Morel actually got onto Toronto's system in the expansion draft out of the Padres and has a similar kind of card. Nice little corner outfield for a little bit of time here. All right, now we get into, finally, these are your keepers being evaluated. And Gary Wassilowski is being kept by the Expos. Will it be this card or a future one? It could be this one. 3.11 ERA in 55 innings. And he's good against righties. The walks aren't, that's not very good. But again, we're talking about the Expos. He actually pitched for the Yankees, but the Expos had the rights to him. So I think the Expos will pick this card up, actually. All right, Jim McLaughlin had an up and down tourney. He's property of the Angels. And I think the Angels will be picking this card up. They need a right-hander. And he was 14-10 with 358, 211 innings. So I don't think he gets any better than this. He might even get a little bit worse. So this card will be picked up by the Angels. All right, Carlos May. This is a nice card. He also has a nice card in one of the future years. I think it's 73 or 72. So this one doesn't have a lot of power, as you can see. Just 12 home runs. It's a nice card. It would get into the league if I had no other options. But again, this is why we do this little tournament, so we can take a look at these cards. Carlos had a nice little tournament. Had the on base, Beast Stealer. But he's got a better card coming up in the future I think we'll take. Dick Drago. Nice quality year for Kansas City. And he got picked up by the Colorado Rockies. Colorado certainly could use all the pitching help they can get, and they'll probably pick this card up. While Drago is still pitching on 3 days rest. Eventually he'll be a reliever. Now Rudy May, this is not one of his good years. He's property of the Ohio Players team. This year he goes in the rotation, but his ERA is 4. And the card doesn't play that good either. He's got knocked around in the tournament. Now Rich Reese was acquired a year ago. He moved from Minnesota to the Portland expansion team because he had that gaudy 69 card where he hits 320 or 330, whatever it was. But the Portland team would be best served to keep him for one more year to get full value out of the trade. Granted, this second year of him is not that great, but it is the best of the remaining Rich Reese years, and he kind of gives you one of those Jim Spencer kind of years. He's a 2E12 at first, gets enough hits, gets to 260 with some nice walks, C-Stealer. He'll get picked up by Portland. Again, it's an expansion team, so they're not going to have Hall of Famers at their disposal. The Padres have the right to Joe Gibbon, but they don't want this one. This one is definitely your lefty specialist, as he gets bombed over here. But there should be a better version of this guy in one of the future years. His stats are terrible, 4.83 ERA. But frankly, if there were no other Joe Gibbons cards, this would definitely get in the league just because he gets lefties out. That's what you really want your lefty to do. And then you just, he only pitches to a couple batters and comes out of the game. So this card will only be used if you can't find a better one in a future year. Now, Julian Javier is really playing well near the end of his career. He's getting up there in age by this point, but he has a fine 1970. It's 251. He does hit well against lefties. He's still got the nice range. The Cardinals will run him back one more time before they start looking for a second baseman. All right, now we have guys who are put on waivers. Colorado put Bob Tillman on waivers. Now, what's interesting is Tillman can still play versus righties, at least. You see the power, and you see kind of the batting average, really. You don't see enough walks. The platoons are going to bring this card down dramatically to a 238 hitter. But if you played just over here against righties, let's say you found another catcher against lefties, he could be part of the platoon. So I would not eliminate Tillman. I think he can get into the league. I think he will get into the league. Someone's going to look at the power for a catcher and the fact that, look, a single 1 to 19 up there. I mean, you got an entire column of hits and a walk and a homer on 7 and another homer there. Colorado could have made a mistake by putting him on waivers. Might be the first time I've said that in one of these videos. All right, Hal Lanier. He would be a 2 at shortstop. Someone's going to pick him up. Plus, he's a 3 at second base, a B-hit runner. Again, the bat's not there, of course. The Giants didn't need him anymore because they had Chris Spire. But this is a Hal Lanier with 460 plate appearances, and he's a 2. So he will find work. It's a question of who values defense the most. Probably a team with a great pitching staff, if I had to guess. All right, now we're getting into, well, Ron Brand. Yeah, he was on waivers. I forget who put. He played for the Expos last year. The Expos put him on waivers. And the versatility is fantastic. A catcher, infielder, that's always versatile. Does a great job against lefties. And so against righties. You know, the funny thing is, the baseball team here, this New Orleans team, played out that platoon. They played out a Bob Tillman, Ron Brand platoon. Him against righties here, and him against lefties there. Now, neither one could throw, unfortunately, both +2s. But you could see how you could get guys like that in your league. Gary Ross. He will have a nice 1976. We're not close to that, though. He might get sent back down to the minors until then. He's as a right-handed pitcher, there's a bunch of right-handed pitchers, and you certainly don't want them. Look at the extra base hits and walks. I don't think this Gary Ross card will make it into the league. 5.23 ERA. All right, now we got a guy here on the retired list. And what happened was he technically qualified for waivers because his card exists, as you can see. But I looked at the stats, and they were so bad, I kicked him off waivers and sent him directly to the retired list with a 186 batting average. The difference between waivered and retired, it doesn't really matter, other than you have to have a certain quantity of each. And again, a retired player, you wouldn't see his card because he didn't play. But what happens is, because the competition is so intense in the carryover league, a lot of guys get forced into retirement because they're just not productive anymore. And that would be the case here. I just don't see this nobody calling him out of retirement. Again, a left-handed infielder is nice. Some defense is nice, but the stick is nothing. And there's nothing to hang your hat on with a stick. Nice base runner, but yeah, not going to happen. And finally, the only free agent, untendered free agent, a guy who has not been in the league yet. This is the 4th year we've looked at this card of Keith Lampard, pinch hitter for the Houston Astros in 1970 with 72 at-bats. What do you say about this? Well, look at the extra base hits. That's cool, isn't it? You got up to there, and you got them again here. And plus hit by a pitch. It just runs out of gas, though, you know? I mean, you put a couple more walks there and a home run, and maybe some more positions. You might get him into the league. I just don't see it happening. Sorry, Keith. I'm not seeing it. And that's it for New Orleans. Thanks for checking out the elimination video. We'll see you next time.